Good morning, everyone. This morning, we are going to discuss the three approaches to method. We have theory of second language acquisition, applied linguistics research, and lastly, we have ideas and intuitions from experience. The first area we will discuss will be the central focus of this volume, which is the second language acquisition theory. Second language acquisition theory seeks to quantify how and by what processes individuals acquire a second language. The predominant theory of second language acquisition was developed by the University of Southern California Stephen Krashen. Krashen is a specialist in language development and acquisition, and his influential theory is widely accepted in the language learning community. Second language acquisition theory can be viewed as a part of theoretical linguistics. It can be studied and developed without regard to practical application. As is the case with any scientific theory, it consists of a set of hypotheses or generalizations that are consistent with experimental data. These hypotheses can be arrived at using any of a variety of means: a brilliant insight, a dream, etc. They must, however, be able to predict new data. In other words, hypotheses are not summaries or categories for existing data and observations, but must pass the test of accounting for new data. If our current hypotheses are able to predict new events, they survive. If they fail, even once, they must be altered. If these alterations cause fundamental changes in the original generalizations, the hypothesis may have been totally abandoned. Always remember that according to this way of doing science, we can never really prove anything. We can only look for supporting evidence. When we do not find supporting evidence or when we find counter evidence, our hypothesis is in trouble. Even when we do find supporting evidence, when the hypothesis makes the correct prediction, a critic can always say that we have not found enough. Thus, a scientist, professionally speaking, is never able to state that anything has been proven. All the scientist can do is have a current hypothesis that he or she is interested in testing. Later in this book, one of our classmates will present a series of hypotheses that make up a coherent theory of second language acquisition. According to the rules of scientific method, it will always be just theory and never be definitely proven. The hypotheses I will present have, however, been found to be consistent with a significant amount of data, experimental and otherwise, and have not yet been confronted with serious counterexamples in my view. They make up collectively my position. This does not mean that I necessarily believe them. What it does mean is that these hypotheses are consistent enough with existing data to be worthy of consideration, and that they appear to capture the data better than other existing generalizations. Theory is abstract and does not attempt to be practical. I hope to convince the reader, however, that in the case of second language teaching, there is nothing as practical as a good theory. The next one, we have applied linguistics research. Applied linguistics links the study of language with the teaching and learning of languages. Applied linguistics covers a wide range of areas. Applied linguistic research is a great deal of research goes on in linguistics that is not aimed at supporting or attacking any coherent theory. This research, rather, is aimed at solving practical, real problems that confront society. A few examples will hopefully make this category clear. An example that will be important to us in our discussion of language teaching consists of experiments that compare teaching methods. Quite simply, a group of students is taught a foreign language using method A, example, audiolingual, and another group is taught the same language using method B, example, grammar translation. The results of such an experiment would certainly be of interest to theoreticians, since a particular theory might predict that students studying using one method would do better than students using another. The experiment itself, however, is designed for practical ends. Example, to decide which method we should use in our schools. The research literature contains many applied linguistics experiments, examining other questions of very practical relevance. Example, first, will instruction in a second language make children more intelligent or less intelligent? Next example, should non-English speaking children in American bilingual education begin to read in their first language or in English? The last method is we have ideas and intuitions from experience. A third approach to method does not rely on experimentation at all. It relies rather on the insights and observations of experienced language teachers and students of foreign languages. It consists of ideas that work. The name of a column in the TESOL newsletter, edited by Darlene Larson, consisting of pedagogical techniques sent in by teachers, introspections by language students, example, diary studies, and other informal observations, while results of research are regularly presented in professional journals. Teachers' insights are not easily assessed and shared. Language teaching organizations often arrange meetings so that experienced teachers can share their techniques and insights with others. Example, the highly successful mini conferences organized by the California TESOL organization. Empirical support for new techniques is neither expected nor presented. Rather, the word of the teacher is sufficient evidence, often for a new idea to be at least tried out in different classes. Classmates, that's the three approaches to method. Theory of second language acquisition, applied linguistic research, and ideas and intuitions from experience. I hope you learned something from my report. Thank you for listening and sorry for my voice because currently I am experiencing fever. Thank you. God bless.